So this little incident started off with some drone fishing, doing a little Gannet release drone fishing and taking it out and hitting a local pond. Now the next day we're going to be going out striper fishing, and I was hoping to, use this for that. So this was like a little practice session. This was the first time that I had used this setup. First time that I had tried this drone fishing device, Gannet device at all, and we got on a couple bass in the pond. I mean, it worked really well. I would say that the thing works very well. Little bass taking off there. So it was going well. We were having a ton of fun with it. Everything was going as we expected, and then this happened. So the drone takes off across the pond, and what happens is, like, we're in the shade, but as soon as it gets into sun, it becomes very hard to see. And I slowed this down at this point because it's so far away. It's very hard to see the drone. And this is on video zoomed in, but being there was even more difficult. I couldn't see it. And you can see I overflew the pond and I hit a tree branch on the other side, which immediately brought the drone down into the water. It was like, oh man, there we were having so much fun, and then all of a sudden, sheer terror. So it was like maybe 25 yards across the pond to where I hit the tree, but it was like a quarter-mile run around the pond on land to get to where it was. I think if I knew about all the prickers that were down along the coastline, it was like a crazy 5-minute quarter-mile dash. At this point, I got stuck in the reeds and fell down. It was actually underwater for a minute. Thank God for a couple seconds. Thank God that GoPro 8 is waterproof. And then, so I'm struggling around on the shore to find the thing. I can't find it, but I got an idea. I call back over to Courtney because the lure was a whopper plopper, and I tell her to reel it in. And you could see it because it's a whopper plopper taking off across the surface. And that helped me hone in on where the drone was. And that's when I found it. You know, unfortunately, about 1.5 feet underwater. This footage isn't the best. I didn't really plan this out. So I find the drone. It's underwater. Now begins the mad dash of what to do. Like, I don't have a plan for this. So now I'm just focused on salvaging this drone. You know, what do I do? So we scramble to the car and we start driving home. I put it on the dashboard with the heat on high. And I've got the Gannet release up there. I separated the battery from it pretty soon in the beginning. And it's thinking, what do we do? Put it in a bucket of rice, but I don't have rice. I'm heading home. This thing's wet. So what I decided to do was use a blow dryer. It's actually Edie's idea. And I put it on low, and I ran it on the front and the back side with a little bit of a distance. At 5-minute intervals, I ran the blow dryer on the drone. So then, you know, here I run it for 5 minutes and I spin it around and I run it for 5 more minutes on the other side. And it's getting rid of all of the condensation. And you can see in this shot here, the camera lens to the left is all full of water. That was like when I started. And then this is like an hour later, and the right picture is like 3 hours later. So I'm like literally doing, you know, resuscitation on this drone for like 3 or 4 hours. And what it doesn't show is when I first turned it on, the picture was just pixelated right out. And then after the blow dryer for about an hour, it was just dark. You couldn't see anything. It was just clouded right over. You couldn't see anything in the camera. I mean, I'm thinking the drone is destroyed. But after more and more time, it just got better and better. All right, so I'm here with the Mavic 2. It's 4 days after going into the pond. And as you can see, I would say that the camera function has returned to normal. We'll scroll it up here, scroll it down. Everything seems to work perfectly fine with the drone. I've put it through all the flight modes. Now, about 12 hours after it came out of the water, I mean, I literally took it on another fishing trip and shot some videos that I'll put up here in a second. The only long-term effect that I've seen from this is, for some reason, the utility lights on the bottom flash. Okay, but they still operate the lure release, as you can see there. So right now it's closed, now it's open. And then you have to hit it twice, one for automatic, which won't close it, and then a second time to turn them on. And there you go, it's closed. So the only long-term effect that I've seen from this thing being in the water for 5 minutes is that utility light flashes. But for what I use it for, the drone release, it still works. There it goes. So 12 hours after going into the water, I was shooting video with it, and it was working great. I can't believe it. What an unbelievable machine.